Tonight on Elite Level Game, we are going to talk about why red flags are not automatic deal breakers. We talk a lot about the unrealistic expectations that tonight women on Elite Level Game.
This is
we
the
are
second
going
time
to
I've done
talk
this.
about why. There we go. I'm a little rusty, guys. Coach EO and I discuss next. Elite Level Game. Elite Level Game starts right now.
Love the intro, by the way, though.
What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe. Jesus Christ. And welcome to this edition of Elite Level Game. I, of course, am your co-host, Donovan Sharpe. You guys can see that we have switched sides and colors. I guess I'm Green Lantern today, so I figured I'd go ahead and switch sides and just go totally Green Lantern. My co-host is the incomparable Coach Everett Overton. EO, how's it going, man?
Hey, man. How are you? Good to see you. Busy week for both of us out here hustling, man, trying to get this content out here and everything else. So good to be back for Thursday night Elite Level Game.
Yeah, this is really good. I was actually telling you off the air, I'm starting to hate on your studio game because your studio is starting to look, I think your studio looks better than mine. So I might have to go on a sabbatical to improve my studio yet again. Seriously, like, dude, the background light, like the backlighting, that is fucking crazy how you have done
really?
that.
Thanks, man. I just, like I said, I tweak things. I play around. Sometimes you can play around too much and fuck up a good thing.
Yeah, guilty.
Sometimes simple is nice. There's times I look at a video, I'm like, you had too much shit out.
Yeah.
You know, keep it simple. And there's times where, you know, the
Less
extra
is more.
pieces are a nice touch.
Yeah, no, I like it.
Yes.
I like
Yes.
how the colors. I don't know. I can't describe it. I don't know how it is that you managed to do that with the wall. It's like you photoshopped. It looks, dude. Honestly, your shit is so tight. It looks like a green screen. Like that's how crisp everything is. How did you accomplish that with the wall?
Man. Jesus, I mean, just constant. And this isn't even my best camera that I'm using right now. That it's actually over there, but it's a pain in the ass sometimes streaming from it. But
yeah.
But you know, just trial and error. I mean, tweaking the lighting. You know, I got a lot of lights here. It's hot as hell in this office.
Yo,
so
real talk.
appreciate the compliment, man.
Hey, of course, man. I have a portable AC in here. If I didn't have a portable AC in here, man, this place would be a fucking sauna. Like, that's just how it is, man. I probably use about 75% of the power. Just like, I don't know, our electric bill probably runs about $400 to maybe $500 per month, which is exorbitant. But dude, like all of the lighting and the god. Anyway, it's all worth it. It is all totally worth it. So what we are going to talk about today, Everett, is we are going to talk about why red flags are not automatic deal breakers. And by the way, we're going to open up the phone lines a little bit later on. We want to get your thoughts, your opinions, your questions, anything pertaining to dating, relationships, et cetera, et cetera. Here's my opening salvo. I want to get your thoughts on this. We talk all the time about how women have unrealistic expectations, right? They want the 6-foot dude with the 6-foot dick, 6-car garage. He makes 6 figures, and he's basically a top 1%er. And while we can acknowledge that today's women absolutely have grossly unrealistic expectations, we don't talk about the unrealistic expectations that men have. Now, one might be thinking, well, wait a minute, Donovan, men don't have unrealistic expectations in terms of what a woman brings to the table. We don't need her to be a certain height. Yeah, she has to be attractive, but we don't need any statistics. We don't need her to make a bunch of money. We don't need her to support us financially. We just want her fit, feminine, and friendly, cooperative, whatever the case may be. No, what I'm talking about is men have grossly, grossly unrealistic expectations about what women do not bring to the table. EO, we are a lot of guys in this community, for
Yes.
better or worse, who like to say things like, well, I am only going to be in a relationship with a woman who's a virgin. If she has even one red flag, I'm completely out. If she fucks up one time, I'm out of here. I mean, if she grew up without a father, she's raised in a single parent household, blah, 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 blah. What is, in your opinion, what is the danger of men disqualifying women in that regard? Almost like the same way women disqualify a lot of men in terms of what they want a man to bring to the table.
Okay, so there's like two sides to this coin. That's an excellent question.
Yeah.
One thing I'll say is inexperienced men generally have very little patience when it comes to like women.
Absolutely.
Okay, inexperience. Okay, because on the flip side of that coin, though, too, if you are well seasoned, then you know exactly what you want, so you know how to find out that information fairly
100%.
quickly.
Yep.
However, I always bring things back to like sports or like business. So it would be like the equivalent of like, okay, like so any coach that brings on a player, even from a prior organization, understands that they're going to come with like a certain personality, a certain. They might be coming from the New York Giants, so they have to kind of like peel back that New York Giant onion. We'll take what worked over there, but now we need to introduce you to the Eagles way, sort of thing. But that takes time. You know, you got coaching, you got to run routes, you got to look at the playbook. And see, so a man with game has a playbook, he has structure, and he has a system. And so any man with game realizes that, hey, yes, my time is valuable. Yes, I don't rush into things, but I'm also not going to just disqualify this woman because I expect her to come in with not knowing the champion way. Speaking for myself, she doesn't know the champion way. She doesn't know what I like. She doesn't know what kind of cream I like in my coffee. She doesn't know that consistency is important to me. I frown upon incompetence. It's something, but I'm also not gonna make her feel terrible about herself too soon. I'm gonna educate, coach, and teach. Tell her where she could do better the next time. Usually, if you do it that way, you're going to see improvement from a woman that is really into you. Okay, she's going to strive harder, especially since she wants to be part of your life. However, if you meet a girl that really has no intention of really being with you, she might be attracted to you, but she's not really ready to kind of put in that necessary work to secure a man. Then you'll see that she's just going to either fall off or just ghost you. And so, in any case, we're fine. So, but it's still the man's responsibility to see when you're patient with yourself in your own personal development, you're going to kind of have that understanding that, hey, this woman, the amount of work that I put into myself, let's just say over the last 5 years.
Oh, God.
I can't expect her to come in and in 5 minutes undo all of her bad habits and learn this program.
That's right.
As a great leader, I have to give her a little bit of time to adjust.
Wow, very good analogy. I have really not even thought of it that way. Wow, that's a great analogy. Men who are inexperienced with women tend to be the most impatient because they don't realize that these things take time. I think, and Devin just took the words right out of my mouth. And on YouTube, she says, some guys want a woman ready-made. She's got to be this, this, and this, yet have no requirements or standards of himself. When both put in effort, guy has his stuff together and she follows it, it works. 100% agreement. There are all, and it's only the men. Isn't it funny how this works both ways in either direction? The women who are the least qualified tend to have the highest qualifications for men, and the men who are least qualified have the highest qualifications for women, right? A lot of men come, and let's just be honest, a lot of these guys are just angry. And hey, listen, I'm not going to fault any man for being angry, for being sold a bad bill of goods and being lied to our entire lives. We get that. But by the same token, this isn't 1955. In 1955, girls turned 18 years old every day, just like they do here in 2022. The difference is back in the 1950s, women were ready-made. They came ready-made because their mothers taught them how to cook and clean. They taught them the importance of family, relationship. Take care of your husband. Take care of his kids. Be a good, doting, dutiful wife. That way, as soon as the girl or the family met a young man who would be worthy of the girl, then it'd be like, okay, she's ready-made. Now, to protect the man from any sort of fuckery, they used to have what's called a dowry. What that is and I know you've heard of this. This is collateral.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to give you if my daughter goes off and ends up being the town bicycle, or she commits paternity fraud, or she cheats or leaves or does anything, then you get this 5 acres of land. Let's just call it that. That was a guarantee against the daughter's quality. So they're like, okay, we stand behind the job we did with our little girl, and here is collateral to prove that. Which proves that, once again, we have always been aware of a woman's self-destructive tendencies. Women, and this doesn't mean women are stupid, this just means this is how they are. Women, when left to their own devices, automatically, it's almost like their default mechanism is self-destruction. Well, you don't have mothers and fathers raising little girls to be wives and mothers anymore. So what ends up happening is as soon as they turn 18, they go and jump on the carousel, they do all this other kind of stuff. I said all that to say this. There's no such thing as a woman these days who does not have a red flag. And I think a lot of men disingenuously like to put out there, well, she's got to be A, B, C, and X, Y, Z. She's got to do this, that, and the third. Dude, 9 times out of 10, guys who have this laundry list of requirements that a woman, how can I put this? If he has 9 times out of 10, if women have a big list of qualifications, men have a big list of disqualifications, right? And each one of them is delusional. If she was raised in a single family home, a single mother home, if she slept with even one guy, if she has a tattoo or if she has a piercing, blah 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 blah, then she is completely. There's no way every girl is disqualified. Well, at that point, you're disqualifying just about every girl. And the girls who aren't disqualified, guess what, EO? They're already married. Why is this? Why do you think guys have this laundry list of disqualifications while the women have the laundry list of qualifications?
Okay, well, if you pay close attention, both the qualifications and the disqualifications, depending on the presentation, is coming from a place of fear. Okay.
Wow.
If you pay close attention,
yep,
to the delivery of it. See, you and I could say the same thing, or we could say we have a certain list of qualifications if we're going to bring a woman into a permanent spot into our life. But we could say it in a fair, loving way. Okay. We may not, be bashing the woman. Okay. So, and here's what I think. I think that those individuals that are spouting off their qualifications or disqualifications really don't know how to win. So they just settle into the loss. Okay, so that those losing talking points actually are preventing you from even getting what you want. So I think subconsciously, men and women both know, if I just continue to spout off these unrealistic traits that I want in a partner, I know I won't get it. Which is what I want anyway.
Ooh! Wow! And I agree with you. I've said the same thing about women. Women, it's almost as though, it's almost like they are. How can I put this? They are preemptively circumventing the rejection by setting their standards this high. They know that their top 0.5%er, not only is he probably not out there, even if he were out there, he's not picking her. That's why she has these qualifications, because she doesn't want to risk the rejection. Well, on the man's side, she has to be a virgin and she can't have lived alone. You know that girl is not out there. And even if she were out there, you know you wouldn't qualify. And I want you guys to understand, I'm not saying to put women on a pedestal in any regard. A man's inherent value is going to be higher than a woman's value. Reproductively, women are far more valuable than we are. Sperm is cheap, eggs are expensive. We all know this. But I think a lot of guys in this community, especially the loud chirpers, all they do is complain about women. These are the men who want the perfect woman. She has to be X, Y, and Z. She has to be A, B, and C. Otherwise, I'm not interested.
No, 100%, man. I mean, I think it is a self-sabotage way to look at things. It's like,
Yes.
I know I won't be able. See, here's the thing. Here's another reason why, we're exposing this not to hurt anyone,
No,
not
of
to
course not.
perturb you, but to get you to actually start thinking. The reason why people want to pump and dump is because they know that outside of 2 weeks, he can't manage that situation anymore.
Wow.
Okay,
Wow.
I really mean that. He's like, hey, I can keep her at bay. I can
I
text
like
her
it.
back 6 hours later, pretend to
Yeah.
be busy, pretend to be
Yeah.
high value and on my purpose and all that, because I know that if I talk to her too much or if I let her see me too much,
She gonna
she's
give
gonna
it
lose
away.
interest in me. Yeah,
She gonna find out who I really am.
That's one of the big motivations of men that want to pump and dump and just want to hit it and quit it, is because outside of that, they really ain't shit.
Wow. Hey, you want to know something? The same could be said about women. Women who want to pump and dump, I'm just going through this guy because they know that as soon as he lifts up that hood of that Lamborghini and they see the engine of a Toyota Camry, the guy is going to be the fuck up out of there. That's how that goes. Good God.
Hey, I'll take that Camry over that Lambo any day. That motherfucker will run and run and
Real
run.
talk. Real talk. And if you have to fix the Lambo, you're looking at 5 figures at the very least. Let me read some of these chats here. Oh, by the way, phone lines are open. 516-387-1987. 516-387-1987. Call us about any relationships, dating questions, marriage, if you're, if you aspire to be perpetually broke, or if you have a comment on today's topic. Let's see.
Hey, Donovan, real quick point. If you pay attention to coaches post game in a football game,
okay,
notice how they generally do not blame the players, even if it is the players.
Right.
They'll say, I put this loss on me. It begins and ends with me. Shout out to my motto there. And that is a signal of a very good leader. Even if it happens to be some few interceptions, bad defense, special teams didn't show up, whatever, that still falls on you because you didn't have them prepared. It could have been mentally prepared.
Okay.
Their conditioning was off. Maybe you didn't have any kind of maybe your pregame speech wasn't on point.
Right.
Something you didn't make adjustments at halftime. So I always blame the man. I know I get in trouble.
No,
for this, but
I'm with you 100%.
Blame the man for the mistakes or the loss that takes place in a relationship.
Dude, I am with you 100%. And I think, and it was funny because I put out a video as I look for my phone line window. I put out a video, I want to say it was a while back, maybe a few days ago, and it was a YouTube short, and I talked about, and I want to get your thoughts on this. I said, okay, here's the deal. In terms of the way women treat you, I said, sluts always like to spoil you early, but women of potential quality spoil you late because women of potential quality, they don't want to take the chance of wasting time and spoiling a man who does not deserve to be spoiled. And I remember Heather, my assistant, told me that there were a couple of comments on there that said, "Well, this sounds like some Derek Jackson shit." Well, these are exactly the men I'm talking about. These are the men who think they deserve the best a woman has to offer. They think that they deserve the world just because they were born with a cock and balls. They think that's enough. Right? They think that's enough. Well, I was born with a cock and ball, so that should be enough. Nah, fam, it's not enough. Just like it's not enough for you. Well, it's not enough for you to just be a man to qualify for a woman's affection. It's the same thing. We got a lot of guys out here, EO, who really do believe that all they have to have is a cock and balls, and they deserve the best of what a woman has to offer. And anytime they hear anything, I guess, to the contrary, where we talk about, well, if your woman is out of pocket, it's on you. I remember talking about Asian Doll. I said, listen, I don't blame Asian Doll for what happened on the Fresh and Fit podcast. Asian Doll is the typical modern Western woman. She's been enabled to act like a fucking bitch everywhere. I don't put that on her at all. No, I put that on her manager. I put that on the men who are around her, who have allowed her to get out of pocket in front of men and not be checked on that. Man after man. No, I put that on Asian Doll, blah, 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 blah. Look, Asian Doll is responsible for Asian Doll. There's no question about that. But to be disingenuous and talk about the fact you cannot divorce men from responsibility in this regard, and that's part of what this topic is about.
Well, I love that segment, and I really love this subject in general. I will say two things that came to mind.
Okay,
there was something that I thought earlier A lot of guys aren't gonna like this either, and I'm not
Sell
saying
them.
every single red flag, not every single red flag that a woman exhibits stems back to the man. However, I will tell you that at some point in a woman's life, being that she has to have a strong male leader
Yep.
from young,
Uh-huh.
usually her red flag was given to her by a red flag from a man.
Ooh.
Okay, like her red flag
Uh-oh.
was is in
Uh-oh.
large part of her life and part of
Uh-huh.
her programming due to a man who had a red flag or a man that wasn't even there.
Yep.
It could have been her mother, you know. So, but I always say though, if you have a child and the woman is left without that male leadership, I mean,
Uh-huh.
I'm kind of blaming the man for that. I'm blaming the man. If the man's not there, I mean,
That's
look,
on
you got
him,
the woman
bruh.
knocked up. Bro, you still have to be in your child's life. You have to be very, very, regular in her life,
Yes.
coaching her and teaching her, and even for sons. So that was number one. I think a lot of the red flags are given to women and even given to men. I think a lot of the talking points that men here have in the manosphere are not even their own. They've never even had a woman.
No,
like
dude,
they've never even
100%.
had that many women. So they go to a channel and they hear the advice or the opinion of another content creator, and they just automatically grasp onto that because they really don't have an experience to judge it toward. One other thing,
Okay.
there was a point I wanted to bring up, which was huge. It was a huge point here. Oh, I love your point about that a woman with like that's sensible is not going to quickly give to a man.
Right.
Okay. Whereas
Right.
a hoe, just like a guy with no game or doesn't have good management skills, he might give her a lot real fast, hoping he can keep her.
Yep.
And then he finds out that it was too much too soon, and it ended up working against him. Okay, that happens with both men and women. However, I do want to say this. If you're holding on to baggage from a bad experience in the past and now you're making a new man suffer for that, like,
Right.
hey, I got to take my time. The last guy I dated ended up not being what he told me he was going to be. So that's the woman and the man's responsibility to kind of fix that problem.
Yep.
Okay, that happened with another woman.
That's right.
Who were you in that situation? Fix that before you go out there back in the dating game, because it's not fair to really take out that baggage on another person.
I agree 100%. We have to do what's necessary to protect ourselves. And I actually just had this conversation, and the lines are blowing up. I had this conversation with Pearl not too long ago. She says a lot of times women, when they hear this content, women say, well, don't blame me for the women who hurt you in the past. No, we're not blaming you for any of that. What we teach men is that based on your past experience, it would behoove you to proceed with caution if you're picking up on the same character markers that the last girl who screwed you over. That's not taking anything out on anybody. That's just common sense. You're telling women exactly the same thing. Hey, if guy X screwed you over, if he came in with all this money and gifts and it turns out he was an ain't shit nigga, then guess what? When the next dude tries to shower her with gifts, she's gonna be like, well, wait a minute, hold on. The last guy came in here and tried to be Mr. High Value, and it turns out that he was living at his mama's place. So I'm going to proceed with caution. It's exactly what I was talking about in that short video with regards to women of potential quality. They will spoil you, but they got potential quality. They're not just going to spoil any man. Any woman who love bombs you, low quality woman, dude, and the reason why she love bombs you is because it's almost like a magic trick. The left, look over here while the trick is really happening down here. Women love bomb you. Men do these kinds of things to hide the fact that they really ain't shit, which is something that you said. So listen, you motherfuckers, you niggas can miss me in the comments talking about, well, I don't care. Listen. Don't put the pussy on a pedestal. But by the same token, you got to understand, women aren't the only ones who need to get something out of the deal. You can't just expect a woman to give you her body if you don't bring inherent value. That's just all there is to it. Now, if she's a hoe and you know she's a hoe, then don't invest shit and let the good times roll. But I'm not trying to hear any dude talking about, well, I don't care what kind of dude I am, I deserve XYZ, because you're no better than the bitches on Fresh and Fit.
Man, I'm loving this your commentary and this podcast.
Real talk.
Another thing too is if you don't change your point of attraction, it's inevitable that you're going to recycle that experience.
Boom. Yep.
You have to change your point of attraction. Once you have an undesirable experience with a certain type of woman, that's not to say the next woman's going to be just like her, because she's not. There might be some commonalities. but you also have to realize, okay, what was I attracted to? Where was my emotions at when I went after this girl?
Right.
Was I leading with the dick? Was I
Right.
leading with a pump and dump mentality? Was I insecure? Was I trying to get over an ex, which is why I love bombed her to begin with, because I was using her just to get over a prior situation, which women do this too. So this is why the dating game is really unhealthy right now, and broadcasts like this will help people at least start thinking about it.
100%. Mr. D with the $50 super chat says, great conversation, my good sir. I had a first-time date last night, and she reached late. I guess got there late. But as Coach EO says, I used it as a teachable moment and ended up smashing the same night. The woman said she was never checked on her tardiness. See, there you go. I gotta let these bitches know, like, bitch, like you were late.
They couldn't be late, like fashionably late.
Sure.
And they might be like, maybe she had to shave her vagina or something. Maybe she like wanted to make sure she didn't have any prickly legs.
Yeah.
So and also, like as I've said and you just said in the post, thanks for the $50. Women don't know what's wrong for you.
Right.
The last guy might have thought that that's not wrong. So she's been conditioned based on her experiences to do things in a certain way. So in a very calm manner, you just educate her and say, so I see you're fashionably late. You put in a little extra effort for me. I like that. However, in the future, let's focus on punctuality.
Okay.
And so, it's just a little smooth way to let her know, hey, what's up? What's his name again?
Mr. D?
The cat.
Oh, Walter. Yeah. There's Walter. Yep, there he is.
Yes.
Yeah, he's coming down here to try to wreck the show.
On?
Dev, if you're watching, you need to come up and get your boy, because he's going to start walking all over the keyboard, and nobody wins when that happens. I just saw him jump down and realize he was in here. But go ahead.
So guys, take it easy on new girls, because if you're like too emotional, really, it just shows your instability. You're showcasing your instability.
And there's another Don DeMarco by Walter. Dev, I need you up here right now. Okay, let us go to Geeky Anomaly, a.k.a. Kevin in Las Vegas. Kevin in Vegas, you're on with EO and Donovan. Go ahead.
Good evening, gentlemen. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Absolutely.
Hey, what's up, man?
My question, hey, Coach. My question is for Coach EO. Coach, I discussed with Donovan on one of our Zoom calls that one of my plans in the next 5 years, once I become financially mobile, is to start wife hunting in small town America. And I realize there is no perfect woman. It's just about maximizing my chances of success. And really my only two checkpoints that I consider high priority are two-parent household and raised to be a wife and mother. Coach EO, are there any blind spots that I'm overlooking that should be obvious to me, or is there anything I'm putting too much emphasis on that I should ease back on?
Wow, great question.
No, I mean, it was very well articulated. Here's the thing. You don't want to force a woman to be something she's not. So in the beginning, it's important that you do tell women what you're looking for, but give it a minute. Like, put her in a position to showcase who she truly is before she actually knows what you're looking for. Okay, this can happen fairly early, because if you tell her too early what you're looking for, then she can try to become that, but it doesn't come natural to her. Right. And then later you'll pay a big price for that, because she never really wanted it to begin with, because the honeymoon phase will have vanished at that point.
Yeah, literally.
But clearly it's a man's job to keep that going to the best of your ability, keep things as fresh as possible. So I would say this: no matter what your prerequisites are, try not to tell her what it is, but showcase your ability to be a great husband. See, again, this is the thing about guys that want to get married to have children. Are you an adequate leader and husband first? So you demonstrate that in your movements and in your actions and in your verbal expressions, and then give her a minute, just see how she responds to it. Instead of like telling her, I'm looking for this type of woman. That will come eventually. Represent who you are and watch how she responds to it, and that's going to tell you a lot about if that woman is qualified to be your wife.
Wow. I don't have anything to add to that.
Okay, and I'm not ready right now. That's why it's a 5-year plan. I am in no financial position to be a husband and father at this time.
Perfect. And I like that you are taking your time. And if this is a 5-year plan, your future wife isn't even in high school yet, my friend.
Yep.
All right, good stuff. Kevin in Vegas, thanks for calling in. Kevin in Vegas, or AKA Geeky Anomaly, very self-aware guy, man. He really, really is. I think you
Yes,
met
I've
him.
noticed that.
Yeah, I think you met him in Vegas at the CME. You might remember him, you might not.
Yeah, we didn't actually talk for any length of time, but I think we did say hello to each other.
Okay, good. He will definitely be there in Miami. Okay, let us go to Cody in New Orleans. Cody in New Orleans, you're on live with Donovan and EO. Go ahead.
Hey, this is Cody Marshall from New Orleans. I just want to keep it succinct.
Okay.
I totally agree with y'all on the fact that, certain women you see come into your life. It takes time, and what's wrong with both men and women, we try to chase this. We like greyhounds trying to chase this rabbit, this mechanical rabbit, this delusional rabbit.
I like that.
Thinking we're going to be top dog. So, and that's why I perceive that. So, it's some things that we got to give. It's a give or take. It's like a bait and switch. So, some things just take time, man. And even though there are certain red flags, but if you don't avoid those red flags, it's your fault. So,
okay.
And if I don't avoid those red flags, it's totally my fault. I take that L.
Okay, EO, what are your thoughts on that?
No, I mean, I agree with them, and I'm glad we're having this discussion because it gets guys at least thinking about something different other than the other type of commentary that they're used to.
Absolutely.
So this might be unusual or different, but we're glad that you're listening. No, I mean, I agree with that completely. And it's also you got to get your house in order before you bring another one in.
That's right.
It's just like if you're entertaining, do you want to bring them into a messy house? You don't have refreshments. You don't have anything to offer them. Or do you want to bring them over and give them like a customized experience? For example, if Donovan came to Chicago, him and Devin, I would find out in advance what the two of them like to drink, what he like to eat. Because if he stops by or I want to take him out to dinner, I'm going to take him somewhere he actually enjoys. Otherwise, it wouldn't be really a memorable experience. And then later they're like, why did he take us to fucking eat sushi? We don't even like sushi. So yeah, India, it's something. We so it's important that what you want. You become a great host, a great leader, and you find out and you investigate what's important to the people that you want in your life. It can't just be what's important to you. That's right. That's an indication of an insecure man.
Woo!
Because really a self-sufficient man is full anyway.
Yeah,
like my life is dope as fuck, Donovan. And whether a woman's in it, SNO's in it, or no woman's in it, my life is dope as fuck. However, with that dopeness that I possess, I would like to give that to someone so they can have an enjoyable experience.
Of course.
And also, hopefully, and she'd have to have a certain level of fullness too that she can offer me, and then it's a mutual exchange.
100%. I live a great life, and my life would be great without Devin in it. But I'm not saying that to grandstand. I'm saying it because it's true. But I can also admit that my life is better with Devin in it. A lot of guys, what gets lost in translation is that being in a bad relationship with a bad woman, dude, that's worse than being single. You have to understand, some guys don't care how bad the woman is. They'd rather just be getting pussy than to be single. No, man. If the bitch is not worth it, if she is not elevating your life, she has got to go. That's just all there is to it.
Hey, to that point, Donovan, real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Last point to that, which was a great point. Also, to a woman, she has to be very, very cautious because she could let a loser into her life, and it just turns her life upside down.
I'm telling you.
Now, Donovan, Geeky Anomaly, Kyle, or whoever that was just called.
Cody in New Orleans. Yeah,
Cody. Now you have to meet her.
There you go.
You're meeting that damaged woman who hasn't let go of the past.
There you go.
Who hasn't really done the necessary work to take that experience, learn from it, and now apply those learnings in a new experience. So that's what happens out here. These people are there's a lot of broken people in the dating game, and you're meeting a lot of them, and they're meeting your brokenness. So it's important that you fix yourself.
No, 100%. What guys have to understand, and this is going to be the recurring theme. Carlos in Chicago, Jay Blaze in Maine, Jordan in Georgia. You guys are coming up next. We said this before. We'll say it again. There is no perfect woman. There is not a woman who, and again, even back in the 1950s, just because women were raised to be good wives and mothers doesn't mean that they don't have any personality quirks themselves. Maybe one has a rebellious air. Maybe one is, I mean, this is just some things you can't control, but depending upon your experience with girls, that really depends largely on the kinds of red flags that you are equipped to handle. Some guys might not be able to handle women who were raised in a single mother household. I happen to be able to handle those women quite well. You have to run them with an iron fist, but it's effective. Some guys aren't able to handle or put a woman in her place who has a high body count, which is most women these days. I happen to be very good at managing women who happen to have high body counts. But all of this, EO, comes with experience. The more experience, and I'm not saying that, well, I guess we have to accept all these red flags. No, be discriminatory. Have standards. Just understand that there is no perfect woman. And sometimes you are going to have to, I don't want to say pick the devil you don't or the lesser of two evils, but you have to understand sometimes a woman's red flags are an opportunity for you to turn them into a green flag. Devin was married she was with the same guy for almost 20 years. Now that, a lot of people would say that that's a red flag, but no, it's not. Because she couldn't be on the carousel in 17 years. Listen, did she screw out on her husband? Maybe, maybe not. But I do know this, if she were single for that 20 years, her body count will be a lot higher. So that to me was an opportunity. Do you have any thoughts on that before we go to Carlos in Chicago?
100% agree. I've said this before. You have to consider the experience, the quality of the experience the woman has. So if you have a woman who was married for 20 years, that means she spent 20 years serving a man in a specific role.
That's right.
Okay, now that may not, that you may redesign that role.
Oh, yes, I did.
Good things from it, and you are going to redesign it. Of course, men with game always do. We have to, because she has to suit our needs now.
That's right.
But I would rather take a woman who has spent a considerable amount of time in a relationship serving a man than somebody who has. I always say this, like you're from job to job. Every job you get, you get fired, you quit, no call, no show. That's not good experience. So at the same time, though, we're not going to belittle those people. We're simply just gonna let them know that there's no compatibility for what we're looking for.
Something Kevin Samuel said in his IG Live with Nicki Minaj. He says relationships are a skill. Relationships are a skill for women. Leadership, that's a skill for a man. Women have to learn how to be in relationships. We as men, we have to learn to lead. If a man can lead, you can teach a woman to be in a relationship. Listen, I'm going to toot my own horn. I'm a phenomenal leader. I can lead women. I can lead men. But it's a lot of it is because we're about the same age. We had to fall down and bloody our nose. We had to make these mistakes to get the requisite experience to get us to where we are now. But relationships isn't just something, even the virginal girl who's 18, 19 years old, never been out of her parents' house. You think she's going to be the perfect wife when you decide to what? No, there are certain things you're going to have to teach her. This is just part of being. No, she doesn't know shit. She doesn't listen. She'll make you up an omelet.
Water the grass.
Yo, real talk. I'm trying to tell you. You have to tell her, okay, look, sweetheart, the socks go here. I mean, you really do have to instruct women, but in order to be a leader, you have to acquire that skill. Just like relationships is a skill that a woman has to acquire. Water the grass. That's funny as shit. Go ahead. Do you have one more point?
You better be a great leader. To your point.
Gotta be.
I say this all the time. You better have so much patience and leadership to take on an 18-year-old or a woman with very limited life and relationship experience.
Dude.
You better be as patient as possible. And don't get bored on that chick. Don't be like, hey, she don't suck my dick like Stacy did last year. Hey, you wanted yourself a virgin.
Hey!
Okay, and here's the other thing. Yeah, you better teach her and coach her.
You feel me?
Yes. And here's the other thing. Relationships are mundane. They can be mundane and very routine, which can also be a little boring.
That's a good thing.
Yes, and that's a very good thing.
Yes.
If you're the type of person as a man or a woman that needs constant distractions, or you need to be fulfilled with noise and drama and gossip and all that, you're not fit for a relationship because relationships are stable. They need to be stable.
Yes.
You guys need to be structured. Bed at the same time every night. You guys get up together. You guys have a routine. She asks, okay, what do you need from me this week? And you tell her, and likewise, you tell her, or she tells you what she needs your assistance resistance in as the leader. So just remember, if you're looking for an exciting life in relationships, now that's not to say you're not going to have vacations.
Sure.
You're not. You'll have little flights, little getaways, three-day getaways,
Of course,
to a cabin in the woods or Las Vegas or wherever or somewhere, the city, get a nice 5-star hotel.
Dude, this is what Deb and I do all the time.
In a different environment.
Yeah.
But if you're hoping to have some flashy life in marriage, you're going to get a.
Not only that, that is a female. Like, that is a female ailment. We'll get to Carlos in Chicago here very, very quickly. What men have to understand is that, and I agree with what EO said. If I don't want to call it boring and mundane, what you called it was stable. And a lot of women mistake boredom for stability. They say, I fell out of love with him. Translation, you're just bored. If you're the kind of guy who needs butterflies and drama all the time, you're a fucking woman. Listen, relationships have to be stable for them to be good. And I'll drop this little nugget on you. I think that there are I think most women and even some men, most modern women, they fear peace more than they do chaos. And that's why they cannot help but to be in chaotic relationships, because they don't know how to do it any other way. As soon as...
Hey, Donovan, you know why that is?
Why is that?
I'll tell you why that is. Because they lack accountability.
Oh, my God.
Women.
Oh, my God. Too much game.
So if you give them enough alone time and enough quiet, they have no choice but to think about who and what they are.
There it is, man.
This is why they have to be on social media and get
Yes!
likes and pictures and posting.
Oh, my God.
It's because it's a constant distraction, which takes them away from personal accountability.
Yes.
Okay. And if men are doing this is what they're doing. But a lot of the time, see, here's what I will say, in addition to what you already said, which was great. If the two of you can actually lay in bed at night at the end of a work day, you guys hustled together or hustled individually, which was for the unit, you guys could put on just like a Netflix show. She could play like a video game on her tablet or something, and you could just kind of relax and maybe check emails, whatever.
Listen,
but the two of you are just together. That is a beautiful life.
You are listen. My hand to the man. You are literally describing what Devin and I do every night. Every night, we sit down, hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm not even. It's unbelievable how you describe this. I have two cats. Both of my dogs are on me. I've got my cats. Devin's playing Candy Crush, and we're watching Ozark or The Godfather of Harlem. It's just peace.
Right.
And the interesting thing is the reason why. That's why Devin said, "LOL, wow." The reason why we've had so much trouble getting to bed on time is because the only downtime we have is at the end of the day. We just don't want it to end, but. We have to get up. But dude, those are the times, I'm telling you right now, and maybe it's an age thing. Those are the times you live for. Those are the times you work for. When you can just, we're not worried about money. Obviously there are challenges in our life and the business, but at the end of the night, we just chill out. We got our animals. If Olivia's over, sometimes she'll come down and talk to us. It's just peace and quiet. And just going back to what I said, as a man, you need to learn to be okay with stability. Don't be like a woman where you need the butterflies and the drama all the time. You're being a fucking woman. Get out of here with that.
That's 100% true. Self-preservation is so important in a relationship. The two of you are preserving yourselves for the future.
Yes.
And so when you go to bed at night at a committed time, you don't have bad habits. You guys aren't drunks. You guys aren't putting toxins in your body all the time. You guys aren't going to live long. You'll be two fucking losers dead at 55, 60 years old. What kind of relationship is that?
Oh my God.
So it's like when you have these healthy day-to-day practices with your occasional splurging in areas that maybe just
absolutely
be, like little pop-up parties here and there.
Sure.
But that is, I'm telling you, the simplistic life in a stable environment with two people around the same page is a beautiful, beautiful thing.
My God. You literally, it's so funny. You describe to the letter what our nights are like. That's insanity. Let us go to, let's go to Carlos in Chicago. Carlos in Chicago, you're on live with Donovan and EO. Go ahead.
What's going on, Coach? What's going on, Donovan?
Hey, what's going on, man? Good to talk to you again.
Yeah, nice talking to you. I know we talk a lot in the manosphere, like that if a woman's valuable, she can retain a relationship for a long period of time. And like with men, we say, "Oh, can you get laid?" and "How much pussy do you get?" kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's men out there that could have sex, but is there something to be said about a man that like can't keep a woman long term?
So let me just take your example. Does this man who can't keep a woman long term, does he have other women behind her? Is he
Right back.
Okay. Is he capable of having a woman long term and he's choosing not to, or are women leaving him? Because there's a big difference there.
Yeah, like when I see like older guys like 40s and 50s, they act kind of like immature kind of, and they're very into like the social life.
Yeah.
And, like you just said, constant drama and stuff like that. But they can get laid very often. Is there like something to be said about that? Like he doesn't have the leadership, he doesn't have the game to keep a woman like interested in long term besides having sex.
It's interesting. There is long-term relationship game, and then there is get laid game. The long-term relationship game, that is harder than the get laid game. Listen, it's hard to get laid, don't get me wrong. It is even harder to keep a woman interested in a long-term relationship. But I will tell you this, a man who can get laid time after time after time, he inherently brings some sort of value to women, whether it's the way he looks, his social aptitude, whatever the case may be. So if there's a guy, and there are many 40 and 50-year-olds out there, I guess, with the Peter Pan complex, they run through a bunch of women. They're not really interested in a long-term relationship. You want to know something, Carlos? That to me, that's not a bad thing at all, because men like that, they could settle down anytime they want. But if they're getting laid on the regular in their minds, especially with the state of today's dating market, why should they? So a man who can, and this isn't to say that a man who can get pussy time after time has immeasurable value, but he's got more value than the average man, because the average woman does not sleep with the average man. In terms of him not being able to keep a woman, maybe there's something to that. But it really depends upon whether or not he could settle down if he wanted to. If he's choosing not to, I would say he's valuable. But if he's running through women and they all discover, like, I don't know, 2 weeks later, whoa, this guy's a fucking psycho, or whatever the case may be, then his inherent value is probably diminished at that point. EO, what are your thoughts?
That's funny, because it's so true. It's so true. It's like the simp shows up outside of that 2 week span.
Bingo.
This is why guys also want to do the pump and dump thing, is because they know undercover he's gonna fall for her faster than she falls for him. Here's what I'll tell young guys: try to have as much sex as you possibly can early.
Have to,
because I don't want you getting married for sex. I
Yes.
don't want that to be
Yes.
I want that to be almost like last, like you fucked already so many times. I'm not saying you gotta fuck a lot of women, maybe 40,
Sure.
but you fuck them enough times to kind of know what it brings. It's just momentary pleasure. After you bust that nut, I mean, real life comes back to the forefront. It's kind of an emotional thing that want to have sex all the time. I always say that simps want to fuck all the time.
Yep.
But real men actually put sex off. We have other important things to take care of. It's not to say that we're not going to give our body what it wants, because that's what our body wants. Our body wants sex, but at the appointed time. So I would tell young people, try to have as much sex as possible, so you know that it just brings momentary pleasure. It's a fun activity.
Yeah.
But you know what else is a real fun activity?
Getting fucking paid.
Making money.
Yeah, dude. We just said
it. yeah, making money, having a peaceful life, having
God.
laughter with your girl,
God,
liking her. Like, do you guys like each other?
Yes.
Like, fuck the sex.
Yes.
That'll come. But do you actually like one another? Do you enjoy seeing her walk in the door? Does she have butterflies when you're coming home, and you still make her feel that special way that maybe you did before? Look, I know individuals. My brother's one of them, who his wife told me, she's like, when he's coming home from Chicago from work, he's an accountant for a law firm.
Oh wow.
She's like, I'm still very, very nervous when I know he's coming home. Like, I just have that same, and they've been together since they were like 16. They're 50 years old.
Wow.
Holy shit. So you can have that feeling if you're that dude. But you got to be that dude that's constantly evolving, learning new things, gamed up all the time.
Yeah.
And the last thing I'll say is that you said something really important. There's like a relationship game, and then there's hit it, dating, casual dating game. You still want to incorporate the feeling of the casual dating game in the long-term relationship game. Because if you just give her long relationship game, but you kind of forget about the things how you pulled her from the beginning,
there you go.
It's going to be a problem eventually. So you have to mesh both worlds.
I totally agree. And one thing I'll say here before we go back to Carlos in Chicago to see if he has anything else to add. I think what a lot of guys really, really, really do need to understand, and I said this before, but I think it's worth saying again, and I don't know if you heard me say this, it's hard to get laid. It's definitely hard to get laid. It's even harder to keep her interested after, and it's not that you got to keep her interested, but this is why we teach masculinity, living the dope life. I don't have to think about anything I do. Okay, so Devin did this. Is this a shit test or whatever should I do? No, I'm just living my life. Now, it takes time to get there, but I will say this. My advice to and I don't know how old Carlos is. He sounds like he's a young guy. My advice to men, and I talked about this on with Pearl a little while back. My advice to men, as far as my guys are concerned, before you even need to think about long-term relationship, it's the rule of 35. You need to be at least 35 years old and have slept with at least 35 women. That's right around that 40 that you were talking about there, EO. Having had sex with 35 women, not only does it serve the purpose EO talked about, you understand that sex is great, but it's not the end all be all. You're not going to get married to have sex, but now you understand what you want, what you don't want. And if you fuck 35 women, guess what? You're going to get hurt. You're going to get played. You're going to get cheated on. You're going to go through some fuckery. All of these experiences help. Carlos, I'll give you anything else to add before you give Carlos the last word, EO?
Yeah, one last piece of advice that I'll give about relationships. It's important to have like a routine to the relationship. So, for example, some guys will say, okay, we do date night on Friday, we do family meal on Sunday, and then we might do a family movie on Sunday night. Like that's a routine to the relationship, and it also keeps the both individuals committed to something. You'll be committed to a lot of other things, but it's important for recreation time that you have kind of like a schedule to what you do with your girl. It's something that she looks forward to as well. So you might say, date night Friday, or even like Netflix series Saturday.
Oh my God,
so like
dude,
Ozark, for example.
Oh, great Ozark, show. Holy
season
shit.
3, which is fucking awesome. All seasons. I fucking love that show.
Oh my God, that show's awesome.
Marty is my favorite character.
Who?
I love Marty, man.
Oh, dude, Marty's a fucking. Marty's a fucking. Oh my God, we can talk for days on that. Marty is that fucking dude.
I just love his walk, his demeanor. He's a man of few words.
Yes.
Puts his emotions
very
to the side.
Pragmatic.
A lot of guys. Yes. Very organized mentally,
dude.
And so, but it's important that you have. Like, okay, babe, so there's a new, for example, SNO, she'll tell me like, hey, there's a new horror series coming out on Netflix. She'll send me a trailer or a link, and then
Are we dating, like, hold on, are we dating the same chick? Like, I'm starting to think we might be Eskimo brothers, bruh, because this is exactly what Devin does. This is unbelievable.
Yes.
Hey.
Well, as you can see, we're running our relationship according. This
is
proper.
Unbelievable.
So they look and say, hey, there's a new series out that I think we'd like.
Right.
She doesn't say we're gonna watch it. She waits for me to tell her we're gonna watch it.
This is unbelievable. It's starting to get a little bit scary. Have you ever seen Devin and SNO in the same room at the same time? We're going to have to start asking ourselves.
It's a mystery.
Family, this is exactly what Devin does. She's like, hey, there's this new show on Netflix or Tubi. I want you. Oh my God. I'm telling you, man. I'm trying to tell you. Oh my God. SNO just might be Devin. I don't know. I don't know what's coming through that door, man. It is scary. It is scary how like the stuff that you have described is exactly what happens in our house. I don't know if you got us bugged or what. Carlos in Chicago, I'll give you the last word, man. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's funny.
Oh no, that was the question I had. But I appreciate elite level game. I love what you guys are doing. Keep it going.
All right, Carlos in Chicago, a frequent caller of the ELG show. Thank you so very much for that. Shout out to Chris Von Erich, aka the Redlands. He is in the house. He says, Donnie and EO, always give it to you straight. Mike No-Go Zones, also welcome the chat privileges. At Mike No-Go Zones, to welcome him to the TSR family. Jimmy in Dallas says, love the green lantern swag. Yes, in brightest day and blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green lantern's light. Yeah, but I've known that. I've known that for a while. I just decided to rock this today. That's why all of everything.
No, I
is
like
green.
It. Looks cool.
Yeah, it does.
Got the Eagles colors too.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
One stone kind of thing.
Yeah, hopefully we can get a good draft pick here. Okay, let's go to Jay Blaze in. Oh, Jay Blaze, are you back in Maine? You're not in Florida?
Yeah.
Oh, he's back in Maine, motherfucker. How's it going, man?
Good. How are you two doing?
I'm doing good. Do you see how depressed he sounds,
Hey,
EO?
baby.
He's back. He's like, hey, guys. Oh, back in Maine.
It reminds me of when Donald Trump told Jeb, low energy Jeb. Remember that? Yes! You got low energy Jeb. Pick it up a bit.
Oh, my God. What's going on, Jay Blaze? How you doing?
Hey, I think the best thing a guy can do is figure out his top 5 priorities. So you might have a woman that has a few red flags that would be a deal breaker at 40, but aren't at 20.
Okay. Give me a couple of examples, because that makes sense.
So maybe you're just trying to build a winning culture, and you're worried about your finances and your purpose. So at 20, you might have a girl that you can keep at arm's reach, and you can focus on that more. But maybe at 40, you're worried about family-oriented, so you're trying to bring someone to meet your parents or your mother. So you're going to take a girl that you can,
What Jay Blaze is describing, EO, is maturity.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, listen, I don't know about you, but my priorities here at 44 are very different from my priorities at 24. You got any thoughts on that?
Mm-hmm. No, he's right, and I was going to say something earlier too. That what's a red flag for one man may not be a red flag for another.
Right?
Everybody's different.
Yeah.
And so I think he's correct in saying that because look, let's face it. When you're 21 years old, you don't know who you are.
No,
a woman doesn't know, and a man doesn't know unless you've had a lot of encouragement from family, and even then, you're going to second guess it because you're going to feel very conformed to what they wanted you to be. So there's going to be another stage of evolution where you're like, all right, do I really want to be a doctor? Do I really want to do this? So the redevelopment is going to continue on, and in your 20s, you really don't know what you want. Shit. That's why we say that when you're like 30 plus is when you should. At that point, you should know. Okay, I'm settling into a skill, a career. I know what I want in life.
Right.
I'm stable. I don't get drunk anymore. Look, I still got drunk at 30. I'm not gonna lie. I'd go to work drunk as fuck and still hammer out sales.
You know it.
But I don't. But I don't recommend it. I don't recommend. Get that shit out of your system.
Dude.
And when you're 30, be very like party. Only for celebratory situations.
Yes.
When you're off the next day,
Yes.
you're off for the weekend. Be very choosy as to where you go and how often you get drunk. It's just very costly. You can make a lot of bad decisions. You can get a woman knocked up being drunk and just fucking recklessly. I've done that so many times. I'm very lucky to be alive, that I'm not dead or in a prison, or I don't have like 10 kids somewhere.
This is unbelievable. Like, this is absolutely crazy. You know how many? I don't know, dude. I think you're trolling me now because this is exactly.
No,
oh my
man,
God,
I'm serious, dude. Like,
this is unbelievable.
I think guys that live like us, fast lives, sales. You're a salesperson too.
Oh my God,
so you know that
dude.
life of just pounding coffee.
Work hard, play hard, man.
Yeah. Work hard. Then you go out at night because you want to make up for the 12 hours.
Dude, and you're fucking
on the
pounding.
Oh
my God, dude.
And then so now you're making up for it. You're like, and you just don't sleep and shit. And
man.
You're just you're fucking running on fumes. And although that can be exhilarating, kind of fun, you do have to play a lot of catch up for that, and I don't recommend it.
But those were the days, though. Am I wrong?
They were
like they were the fucking days, dude.
You really do. I mean, you're like macking on chicks against the wall in the
real
bar.
Talk. Oh my God,
in an hour.
Jesus fucking
Christ.
Christ.
It's exhilarating and it's cool, and you pick up a lot of game from it. So I wouldn't shun you if you did it, but do it a couple times, get the game, and then get out and then get back to making your money and stacking up. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we're the same person at this point because we seem to have lived literally identical lives. This is incredible, dude.
Yeah.
Listen, especially in the sales game and your coworkers in the sales game. Oh, especially when everybody's making good money, dude. It's like a boiler room atmosphere. Sometimes
it is,
dude. Sometimes you're on the floor for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours. And when the workday is finally over, the only thing you want to do is fucking cut loose shots. You're doing blow. You're making out with the secretary, hoping she doesn't meet. I mean, it's just, oh my God. Those were the days. I could never, ever do that now because I would probably be
Women
dead.
are really very attracted to salesmen.
Oh, yes.
They're very attracted to guys that are elite in their craft,
That's
specifically
right.
sales. It's just a turn on for them. Usually you have a good mouthpiece. You know how to understand people. You know how to persuade very well.
Bingo.
When you're a salesperson. So,
this is why Kevin is in the sales department because this is why it's Kevin. It's not Kevin in accounting. It's not Kevin in statistics. No, it's Kevin in sales. Kevin in sales has all the game. Right. Jay Blaze, I'll give you the last word, man.
Hey, you're the best part of my day. So, and I did watch EO's video on the Kevin Samuels, Nicki Minaj, and that was great too.
I'm gonna check that out, man. I'm gonna check that out for sure. Jay Blaze, stay warm in Maine and try not to get too depressed up there, brother.
Do my best.
All right, man. Jay Blaze reluctantly in Maine. Jimmy in Dallas, another $5 says, Marty is the man, human calculator. You want to know who my favorite character on Ozark was? I liked fucking Ben. Ben was a fucking maniac. Do you remember the first scene he was in where he takes all the fucking...
he beats
the shit out of the kid, then he takes their cell phones to the tipper.
Anxiety a little bit. His character gave me a little bit of anxiety because he was so... I don't know, just something about his character was just so unstructured and... he was kind of a simp in a little bit of ways too. But I mean, just the way he was looking at Ruth, like in those scenes. I liked his character, but he gave me a little bit of anxiety. I leaned toward even Marty's wife.
Wendy. Oh,
great job she does, Wendy.
I'm gonna tell you what. If Marty is the human calculator, Wendy is fucking cold-blooded. The bitch killed her own brother. She killed her own brother, is what she. Oh my God.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen with Jonah? Like, is Jonah like is this a stage for him? Like what is he doing? What's he doing?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Great show.
Yeah, Jonah gives me anxiety. He gives me anxiety. Spoilers. I've seen every episode so far. Even the season 4 part 1. Definitely check those out. I cannot wait for the dude. Oh my God. Anyway. All right, last call of the evening. Let us go to Jordan in Georgia, specifically Marietta. Jordan and Georgia, you're on live with Donovan and EO, and you go ahead.
Hey, Donovan. So, my question was, it was what I would do in a relationship. It was either kind of go how your route is here, and like find someone like Devin and sit down and never get married because it's just too difficult to do that.
Yep.
Or to head out like outside the country to a more traditional place like Asia.
Mm-hmm.
What would be your opinion on that? Because out there, I feel I could actually have a marriage. I'd fly back and forth between whatever country I chose out there.
Okay. Let me ask you this. So
either of you.
No. Yeah. I'll let EO chime in on this. Let me ask you a question first, though. Are you so you want to fly back and forth? Are you bringing your wife back to America and then back to her home country? How's that working?
So it'd probably be like half the year there, half the year here kind of thing. Like, or if I'm over there, come back over here.
No.
For like,
no. Listen. Let me make way. And listen, I agree with you. I think finding a wife in another country like Thailand, the Philippines, Southeast, like I'm all for that. But Jordan, you cannot bring her back to the States. If you bring her back to the States, hold on. If you bring her back to the States, listen. I'm trying to tell you, feminism is undefeated. It is undefeated. I don't care how traditional a woman is, man. And I'm going to tell you something else. You bring your beautiful Thai or Filipina wife here to the States, you don't think these American bitches are going to try to sabotage your relationship just because just because they see you're happy, you don't think dudes are going to try to fuck your Filipino wife just, I'll show him. Listen, I agree. If you want to get married and have children, it would be very unwise to do it here in the States with an American Western woman. However, if you are looking for a foreign wife, bruh, you have to be an expat. EO, your thoughts?
I mean, there's a lot of scarcity in what this man said.
Yeah.
Not to be too critical of him.
Sure.
There's a lot of scarcity in what he said. I know plenty of people that are married, that are happily married here in the States.
Yeah.
I'm not an advocate for marriage. I'm not sitting here fucking promoting it and shit. But I'm also not, being highly critical of it. I was married before. My marriage was fine. We both went in for the wrong reasons. I take full responsibility for it. Now, she proposed to me. It was kind of like an opposite. Like,
I remember you telling me that was funny.
To me, it was a completely different kind of setup, but ultimately I still was wrong for that by letting her do all those things, because there's a price to pay for that. So, if you can't manage a woman here and then you try to go somewhere else and manage a woman, you think those women don't have game out there? I mean, so what I would say is this. I mean, figure out like what you're qualified for. Okay, I have a show called Batch Dating that's returning this month, where I'm going to be talking to people about how to settle into their batch and stay there. Like, don't try to go for a woman you don't qualify for. The lifestyles are conflicting. She's too pretty for you. Yeah. And what I mean by that is some individuals, they're too pretty for you. Yes. And they're getting too much attention. You're not able to kind of manage her correctly, so she's lost from your grips. That wasn't the right woman for you. I would tell all guys, figure out like what your number is. Like, take a hard, long look at yourself, an honest look. Okay, I make this amount of money. I look this way. I don't have a lot of experience. So if you're like a 5, I know you should probably be with a 4 or a 3.
Dude,
I'm just being honest, man. You want to save yourself heartache? Figure out, and the proof is in who likes you.
There it is.
Okay, like take a look.
The market.
You go on a dating app. Find out who swipes on you. That's who likes you, bro.
Okay.
That's who is into you. I mean, that's who likes you. It doesn't tell the whole story, but take a look at those that are interested in you on dating apps, or those that are actually eyeing you in public, or lack thereof. That's the truth about you, man, at least at this time. And so maybe you can go on a self-development run, get in better shape, wear better clothes, hire me, or hire Donovan to help you out with that. But be honest with yourself. And then I always say, this is why I tell you, I want a 6. An adjustable 6.
Real talk.
I'm happy with
Real talk.
I've had 8s, 9s, and 10s.
Oh my God.
They're cool for like a few rounds, but
yeah,
outside
about
of that,
10 minutes.
I really want. Yeah, I mean, a round or two.
Fan.
But I find my most enjoyment out of a woman who's not on social media, who doesn't have a lot of damage.
Yes.
I mean, some damage is fine. Damage control, that sort of thing. You're going to take someone with some damage. It comes with the territory. Even if an NFL team takes in a player who's been in the league 10 years, I mean, he's had operations, surgeries. Yep. He's slower now. He's bitter. You have to learn how to manage his personality. Just like AB, like he can't just go to any old team. Like you need a very, very stable coach to
babysitter.
Coach him. Yeah. So long answer, but be honest with yourself as to who you are, how much experience you have, and who is in your batch, and then date accordingly. But going off to Asia and finding someone over there and having a halftime love affair twice a year, that just sounds ridiculous to me.
I think that because any man who wants to get married in this country is doing himself and your future children a disservice, because most marriages end in divorce. However, what you have to understand, and Allie, Real Femme Sapien, go subscribe to her. She's in our chat. She says foreign women, too, really want a masculine man, so you do have to be qualified. Yes.
More so.
Real talk.
In most cases, more so. So if you take I'm not calling the caller this, but if you take this soft approach over there, you don't know how to manage yourself, you don't know how to manage women, you got bad fuck game, you're distracted easily. I mean, that woman's going to eat you alive, too.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Everybody wants a submissive woman until they get a submissive woman. I want a woman who's going to be a follower and be submissive. Then, well, guess what? Now she's asking you all these questions. Hey, can I do this? Why are you asking me all these questions? You're the leader. The reason she's asking you is because you're the leader. I want a woman who defers to my authority. Can I do this? Can I do what's with all the questions? Fam, you wanted a woman who was a follower, and you got it. You got to be prepared for that. I'll tell you one last thing, Jordan, then I'll give you the last word. You have to understand this, and I think that Jordan has called in before. I think Jordan, I think you do have a little bit of game. If you're going to get married legally, you're going to have to do it in a foreign country. Do not do it. Maybe in 100 years, you might be able to do it in the United States, but we'll all be gone by then. But do not, whatever you do, if you decide to go overseas and get married, do not bring your wife to the States. Don't do it. You are asking for trouble. Here's something else. And a lot of guys who, because I know Jordan can get laid because he's called in before, but a lot of guys think that, well, if I can't get laid here in the United States, I can go to Ukraine or Argentina or Brazil. If you can't get laid in the United States, you can't get laid anywhere. So if you don't want to bring your wife here to the United States, if you don't have what it takes to be a leader to a Western woman, you're definitely not going to have what it takes to be a leader to a foreign woman, because you think our standards are stringent. Listen, man, the women here want the beta bitch boys. The women over there, they need that alpha male. I'll give you the last word, Jordan.
I was gonna say, I have called in before. Thank you for that. I don't have a lot of game. I feel I do know where I am at, and like you said, I do want to work out. I've been trying to get into learning a few martial arts.
How old are you?
So I'm 23.
Jordan, Jordan. First of all, congratulations. You are 23 years old and you're here. Can you imagine what my life would be like if I found this community at fucking 23 years old? Honestly, I'd probably have about 23 kids, to be quite honest with you, because I wouldn't know what the fuck to do with myself. Listen, I like the long-term approach that you are taking, Jordan. But listen, take a deep breath, relax. Dude, you have your whole life ahead of you. You are almost a decade and a half from the dawn of your prime. You haven't even, you're just out of diapers. Take your time, get your money up, get your heart broken, go out and smash as many chicks using a condom as humanly possible. That way, when you do turn 35, at that point, you'll say, you know what? I don't have to go outside the United States to find my wife. I got a line of bitches around the block.
Hey, in real talk, if you're that dude that is highly sought after by women, they are not really pushing marriage that much. In my experience, there's been women that have wanted it, but they knew not to push it on me because I'll just get rid of you. I'll just get rid of you. I mean, you're not going to push anything on me. Like, you can campaign for it. You can tell me that you desire this greatly, and then I'm going to be considering that based on my evaluation of you, me, in this relationship, if it can potentially go there. But if a woman really loves you, and you give her like your firm stance on marriage, like, it's not out of the question, but there's a process. She's not gonna push it.
There you go.
She's not gonna. In my experience, she's not.
The winner of the podcast is Jordan. Kid is 23 and he's listening to us. God damn.
Yeah, we like that. We like that.
Oh my God,
the
man,
earlier the better.
Dude, I swear to God, man, I don't know where. Oh my God, Mike No-Go Zones $5 says finding a woman not on social media is like finding a unicorn, and I've been all over the world. Appreciate that. Something else that one of the other.
True. It's not true. They're out there. Go ahead. But again, it comes back to your radar and where you go to meet women.
Bingo.
So
there it is.
Don't switch up your environments and your point of attraction. Of course, you're not going to meet that woman because you're not seeing her. But you have to, once you change you and your mindset and your lifestyle, then the women that you were once attracted to are no longer attracted to you.
There you go.
And then
isn't it funny how that works?
See the women, and then the women that are like, I'm going to keep saying this because I feel it's the healthiest way for men to go about things.
Okay.
Stop gauging what you see initially and then making that like this dope chick. She's not dope until you've actually made her dope in your way. She's not dope when you meet her. Stop saying that shit. Like,
dude said, I'm going to try to find a woman like Devin. Listen, Devin had qualities, but she is not who she is today without your boy. Right?
That's
like,
right.
Devin was on social media when I met her. Yeah, right. Exactly. Listen, shout out to Dev for putting in the work, but your boy had to be there to guide her. more or less. Rebel 5150 says, I believe in monk mode and grind until you're 35, 40, then think about women. Think about relationships. Because if you grind until you're 35 or 40, you're not going to, and then think about women, you're not going to have any game. And if you have high, quantifiable value, you look good, your money is tight. At that point, if you have no game and no experience with women, now you're a mark, because now you have all this value. See, getting used as a 23-year-old is no big deal. You don't have shit. But when you're 35 years old, 35, 40 years old, and you're making six figures, and the wrong bitch gets her hooks on you, she can do some serious damage. She can't do shit to you at 23. She can break your heart, whatever. But you have to really, really don't completely check out of the dating market. Be 35 years old and have slept with at least 35 women. Guys, and I don't want to make this kind. I think you'll co-sign on this. Gentlemen, what you're going to have to understand is there is no way to get to where we are mentally and with women without some sort of pain. Guys, you are going to have to get out here and fail. You're going to have to get your heart broken. You're going to have to get cheated on. It sucks, and I know it's not something you want to go through, but if you want to be on that level, guys, you absolutely positively need this experience. I know you've seen Bloodsport. You remember when Tiger Tongbo is kicking that palm tree with his shin? Your shin is riddled with nerve endings. If anything hits your shin, it's like the most searing pain. Well, why would he be kicking that tree? To deaden the nerve so that when he gets into the ring, he can throw that right kick to the head with impunity and not have to worry about all the nerves. This is what you have to become when you're out on the dating market, but you have to go through the fire. EO, your thoughts, man?
Yeah, one of my favorite parts in that movie is when he tells him, "Get your things and leave." And he says,
Boom!
"What's the problem? Your brother, remember?"
Yes,
your brother, remember? Right. Anyway, yeah. I mean, the worst thing you could be is a well-educated man with assets and money and a home with no experience with women, and then you give a woman that simp smile.
Oh my God.
Because you even have to master the way you look at her, your reactions, your smile, how cheesy you are when she calls you, when she texts you. Yes. And you're not going to do that if you're committed to just your career and you put women off at 35. Because women are too advanced for that. And then at that age, they're like, all right, I got to find me a chump, an easy chump where I can just move right into a situation. And if she sees, okay, this guy smiled at me like a simp. This guy
it takes him that long.
It could be like that, and she's like, "I got my claws in this motherfucker right here," and it's too late for you. You're in over your head now, emotionally, especially if she breaks you off and jumps on top of you and rides you, bro. And you ain't never had a lot.
It's over. It's
over for you.
It's a wrap.
Meanwhile, me and Donovan, we spent most of our 20s fucking spilling beer on bitches and shit.
Christ.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
We're different.
We're spilling beer and liquor on bitches and then have the audacity to be like, so you come here alone?
Right.
Real
you
talk.
Have to have some of those experiences so you're a well-rounded man once you turn 35.
Yes.
You got to have it all.
Listen, I understand. It's very scary, especially the way bitches are. You're just going to have to listen. You have to put yourself in uncomfortable positions. You have to put yourself in stressful situations. This is what forges you as a man. This gives men the wherewithal to be able to walk into any situation, regardless of whether women are involved or not, and be confident to the core. Okay, EO, man, another fantastic show. What are your last? Give it your last thoughts. So let people there and find you, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, I always enjoy these shows.
Yeah, these are great.
I really enjoy your energy and your fairness. That's another thing I'll leave with the guys is, come on, man, be fair. I mean, women are highly conditioned as well as you. They've been sold the lie and they bought that shit too.
Right.
And so they're also trying to figure this thing out. And who better to help them figure that out than a man that's figured it out?
There you go.
See,
if
a woman meets a man, especially if you call yourself Red Pill,
right?
If you identify with that label, you know what's going on in the world, don't you?
Of course you do.
You identify with that label, don't you know what's going on in the world? Don't you understand women and yourself?
You'd be surprised.
So who better than teach a woman stability than if you subscribe to the label of red pill, which I really don't, I guess people could say that he's red pill or he's very red pill.
I don't know what to call it anymore.
I refrain from labels. I try to.
Yeah.
However, or I'll create my own, but I'm not going to frown upon it. But who better than to teach a woman a stable life and to break free of her own conditioning than you?
Yes.
And so if you're walking around bitter, bad mouthing them, what kind of red pill example? What kind of example of a man that knows the truth are you?
That kind of man. There is no right. It just doesn't make it. Listen. Instead of calling this red pill, I like to call this the man first mentality. I think that's probably. I mean, men-centric, man first, whatever the case may be, because the world tells us, bitches first. Tell the people where they can find you, man.
Yeah, man, great show. Thursday nights. Make sure you guys are here.
Tell your friends.
Thank you for the contributions. Yes. Share the video, man, because this really needs to be heard.
This is hot fire.
Men and women both. I'm Coach EO. Just search my name. You'll find me. I have something for everyone. Killing the Sim series. I try to target the guys that are in their early 20s into maybe their early 30s.
Okay.
But although there are Sims at all ages, I also have an LTR series, Leading the Relationship,
yes,
which I talk more about relationship advice and also how to lead properly, in addition to other things. So that's me, guys. Come on and check us out.
He is Everett Overton. Be sure to go and subscribe to his YouTube channel. Follow him on Instagram as well. EO is as good as they come. Dude, he and I think EO and I, our on-screen chemistry, I think it rivals my on-screen chemistry with Myron Gaines. Because I remember when Myron and I used to do shows together, dude, we had the same back and forths. I also need to check and make sure that S2E2 and Devin are not the same person. Because the way he describes everything, it's like, dude, like we do exactly that. Chase on it says, I like Red Pill Donovan's Morpheus. Oh my God. No. I am not. I am absolutely not Morpheus. Oh, because I'm black. Oh, okay. Well, I suppose so. Nah, I'm not really Morpheus. I'm probably closer to Dozer if we're going Matrix all the way. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Definitely not Cypher, even though I do like those big booty white girls with the red dresses on and medium rare steaks. Thank you guys very, very much for tuning in. Always love doing these shows with Everett Overton, man. Guys, like, subscribe, comment, share the video, because when he and I get together, man, we drop bar after bar after bar, man. I think this is one of my favorite shows to do. So thank you guys very, very much for watching, and we will see you next time.